my own mark.
Yeah, Barry Switzer just was like, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing.
You say you have Parcells.
So
Parcells Cowboys time versus Switzer's Cowboys time. You're talking as far as being a Cowboy coach.
Yes. Even though Switzer won the Super Bowl, I'd put Parcells.
Close. It's close.
What Parcells did, because, I mean, they were 5-11 3 straight years. And then Parcells comes in, and they make the playoffs with Quincy Carter at quarterback.
What Parcells did was, if anybody from KC wants to relate, it's what Andy Reid did to the Chiefs when he came in. I think we won 2 games or 4 games, maybe 4 games the year before. And he came in, and all of a sudden you have a winning culture.
Yep.
And so that's what Parcells brought in because they bought in. I mean, the players bought in immediately. Parcells, tough guy, but players buy in on him.
And Parcells drafted Jason Witten, who, staple for a long time.
Tony Romo.
He signed Tony Romo, undrafted free agent, and who ended up leading the team for a long time and doing a good job, and didn't win a Super Bowl because he had a bum of a head coach. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Couple of them, right?
Here's the difference between Parcells and Barry Switzer. Barry had better players. I mean, Barry had better players.
He did,
yeah,
and he was still part of that trade, that the initial moves that Jerry Jones did to bring the club back to relevancy again, and then after that, it just kind of everything went away as far as the kind of players they were getting. Like they had some great players under Jimmy Johnson in those first years, but they had to trade and sell themselves out to get them too.
Yeah, another thing that kind of. I don't know how many more titles Jimmy might have won if he was there, but I'll say this. What happens is when you have a really good squad like that, salary cap gets you.
That was around the time the salary cap was first
93,
coming into play.
93 comes in, and that makes sense. So they get one more, and then it's tough to field all those guys and pay all of them, right? I mean, we saw, San Fran had to move on from Montana. Literally when the salary cap gets put in, they go, oh, crap. We can't afford to pay because they're paying Young like he's a starter, and they can't afford it.
And so Montana comes to Kansas City and gets you guys close.
Yeah, close. I thought he did. I mean, he was good. He did what we thought. But anyways, so in the salary cap era, I don't know. I think maybe Jimmy could have gotten one more, and then who knows? Because he would have drafted different and stuff, right? And so you don't really know how it would have all played out. But the salary cap would get you, which makes what the Patriots have done, cheating and everything. Still, very impressive. So,
Patriots, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom
so
Brady watched.
So the way it's going is this: the quarterback dominoes will all start falling as soon as Brady makes a choice. Now, the choices that we've been hearing are Chargers, Raiders, Patriots. That's it, right? Titans. Titans is the one creeping up.
I think the Cowboys are really making a mistake by not looking at him. I'm sure that.
So the Cowboys decide not to?
I think.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
The first domino to fall is going to be the new CBA.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Which they're voting on it right now. The players have until, I want to say it's like a couple days before free agency starts. So the players vote on it through the Players Association. So all that's going on kind of behind the scenes, which a lot of the players' tweets that I have seen, they're against it. They don't like it.
Well, they always want to get more money.
Yeah.
Which, here's the deal. I don't blame them.
Yeah. I don't either.
Always try to get more.
Yeah. So.
But I think they'd like to have a ring on their finger too, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that's been the debate for the longest time is do players value championships or money more? And I think it kind of depends on the individual, right?
And I think here's my deal too: is a lot of people want to talk a little trash and try to get. Oh, hopefully they take a hometown discount. I actually am in favor of do what's good for you because here's the deal: you're only young for a little bit, and you only play in the NFL for a little small portion of your life, and you need to make that money while you can to take care because you want to get the money to take care of your family.
I mean, I think the average.
Then you want to get that grandkid money too.
I think the average NFL career is about 4 years.
I was even thinking it might be a little less than that. Something like that. So you got to make that money while you can.
Exactly.
And the CBA coming in is actually is it going to benefit the higher paid dudes? Yeah, it actually is going to benefit the lower paid guys even more because they may get a boost up in their salary by 30-40%.
Yeah.
They go from the league minimum of $300K to I think it's $300K to like a $500K or $600K, which could double their income essentially. So it's interesting when people people talk about hometown discount. Now here's the deal: do you hope? I mean, here's the deal with Patrick Mahomes.
Does everyone in Kansas City hope that Patrick Mahomes takes a cheaper deal to stay here?
Yeah, I do. Would I fault him for not? No. Grab that money.
Especially, he's going to set the new quarterback market, right?
Yeah, it'd probably be about 40 a year, 200, 5 years, 200.
If you were the best at your job, and you could set the market,
I'm setting the market.
I would tell you. You'd be a fool not to set the market.
So I would talk to you, and then you can figure out, and then basically the Chiefs, what they'll do is they'll figure out how to structure it, right?
Yeah.
Will it be 40 every year? Will they backload it? Will they front load it?
Yep.
It all depends. Veach is a sharp dude, and
he understands the salary cap stuff way more than we do.
Yeah, and
even this is his job.
Yeah, and he knows how to defer stuff and do all that. I mean, they really.
So he'll make it where it's, and people have to remember Brett Veach's job. He's employed by the Chiefs in the NFL, not Patrick Mahomes. Now, does he know that Patrick Mahomes gives them a better chance to win? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But should he sacrifice the rest of the team just to pay that one guy? I mean, that's kind of the spot he's in. Because if he does let Patrick walk, which I don't think is going to happen, I think they'll get.
I think there's a 0% chance of that.
But
that
if he
quarterback
does,
position,
he would be a criminal in Kansas City.
That quarterback position is, so important, isn't it?
It's so key. 100%.
And the deal is too. Way you look at with Mahomes is you guys say, if I keep this dude, I can put. I don't want to say subpar receivers. But I can put pretty good receivers around him, and he's going to make them look like all-stars. Some of the guys that are going to move on in free agency have looked pretty good playing with Mahomes. They're good players. I'm not saying that. Demarcus Robinson will go somewhere. And actually, Andy Reid has said that this dude is going to be a star. He just needed to develop a little more.
Yeah.
So I think he's actually gone to – he's going to get paid by somebody. I think Giants were looking at him. And then I think Sammy Watkins is probably gone too. So you're looking at the guy we drafted, Hardman. You're looking at Tyreek Hill. Then you're looking at
Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey's technically still receiving. I mean, he's tight end, but whatever. So then you're looking.
We are the city of tight ends, though, man.
Yeah, you know what? Another guy that may be out is actually Damian Williams. Damian Williams, I think his deal's up.
Yeah, Shady McCoy. They announced they're not going to bring him back. Which
all good.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older guy.
Got his ring.
He's had a good career.
Yeah,
and maybe he'll catch on somewhere else. But
it might
I don't
be one
think
of those
he
deals.
was an integral piece to this puzzle.
Basically, was kind of holding us together midway through the season with a lot of injuries. McCoy came in and did good, and then we had Thompson come up and kind of took that 2 role, and then other Williams got hurt. So I mean, we had basically guys who were putting in and out. I think Damian Williams is a good running back. So I don't know if they bring it. I actually don't know if they bring him back or not. They looked at the draft and they run him in top because you got to once you figure out the way to pay Mahomes, then you got to figure out who we not paying. Or where are we going a little bit cheaper on as far as that? And then you look to the draft for that too, which they have a pretty good track record of. Veach has a good track record of drafting well, with especially his high picks, Hardman, Mahomes. He didn't draft Mahomes, and he was involved in it pretty heavy.
Yeah,
but there's interesting stuff coming with the Chiefs and the salary cap. No one exactly knows what's going to happen with Chris Jones.
He's been franchised.
Yeah, he has been franchised.
So
I was getting ready to ask you, what do you think about the franchise tag?
I think it was the right move.
What do you think, though, overall, if you were a player?
If I was a player?
Yeah.
I would not be a fan. Unless I'm, not as good as that. You know what I mean? If I'm a mediocre to a good player and I get the franchise tag, oh, sweet. If I'm a great one, I don't want it. I want the 5-year guaranteed money deal.
Yeah, I went back and forth on that. I'm with you. I think as a player, if I was great, if I was top 5 or 6,
if you were already in the top 5,
top
you
5 or
wouldn't want
6 in my position in the league, he may be even top 10 at my position in the league. I would not like the franchise tag. But I think it's the right move, and I think everything that has came out from the Chiefs and everything I read is that they want to get a long-term deal done. Again, this new CBA is kind of holding everything up.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know what the cap's going to be, and if the quarterback's going to count against the cap, maybe it's not. So I just feel like that's kind of holding everything up. But everything I've read from the Chiefs and Brett Veach and his office, they want to sign Chris Jones long-term.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're
I think
just trying to figure out the best way to do that.
I think there's the least possibility or the lowest possibility is that he just plays this year on franchise tag.
Yeah.
The franchise tag, to me, if you're using it on like a guy that is a top 5 talent, a lot of times it's a tool to buy you time.
Yep.
That's what the Cowboys are going to do with Dak, most likely franchise.
Yep.
They may let it run. They may let it run through the year, but I actually think a deal with Dak's going to get done. And with Chris Jones, I think it could. I could see it 50-50. I can see either tag him and then try to sign a long-term if you can figure out a way to fit in Mahomes with that stuff, or you tag and trade, which I'm telling you, some of these fans will be like, oh, my God. But you got to figure the cap out, and if you can get actually good value from a trade, then you go for it. So,
and that's the thing with a lot of just fans. People call themselves sports fans, but they're not sports nuts like us. So, I mean, they don't see the business side of it. They just say, well, I want to keep Chris Jones. I want to keep Patrick Mahomes. I want to keep Tyreek Hill. I want to keep Sammy Watkins. I want to keep this guy. You know,
yeah,
you can't. I mean, you've got to – at some point you got to balance it, and you have to realize these guys are making a living. Whatever you do to make your living, you're going to try to get the most money you can. I mean, if you have 10 restaurants approach you to come manage them, you're probably going to say, well, how much are you going to pay me because these guys are offering me this?
Yeah, the only thing you would – the only reason –
work environment helps.
So the only reason you would never take more money is if your work environment was total trash.
Yeah.
Total trash. Like if you're in the NFL and –
Cleveland.
Who's the dumpster fire?
Cleveland.
Dumpster fire, Cleveland, or when the Raiders are better now, a little bit better now with Gruden. Yeah. But before 3 or 4 years ago, yeah. Raiders approach you versus Patriots. And Patriots are offering you $5 million less, or let's say 5 to 10% less. You go with the Patriots because what you can do is when you go to New England and you start winning, then you get
your stock then goes up.
Your stock goes up. You get a bigger deal after that. So you hit that, and then you go play in the Raiders. And you've heard some of the stories about with Gruden, the culture's better, but like before that, the culture's trash, and everybody hated being there. I mean, it's like it's terrible.
I mean, look at Randy Moss. Other than, he was in Minnesota for a long time, had a great career there. Really, other than Minnesota, the only team he had success with was New England because of the culture there.
We win. They win.
I mean, he went to the Raiders and, kind of during that time you're talking about, and it was terrible. Everybody was talking about how bad he was.
I was trying to think. It's crazy how it all worked out. I think when the Raiders signed him, they were still hopeful. I think
they were still kind of on the edge.
They were hoping that Gannon was coming back.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know if Gannon ever played with Moss.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they were hopeful Gannon was coming back from the neck surgery or whatever. Didn't happen, and the franchise literally went bam.
Yeah.
Another, we're kind of all over the place with some of this stuff, but we're talking salary cap stuff and signing players. Another lesson on not to overspend on older players. The Raiders did that. 2002 Super Bowl, overspent on Brown and Rice and all these guys. Rice was about done. He still had a good year. But overspent on a ton of old dudes. When it didn't, they were all in on a lot of older players. When it didn't happen, the franchise went to trash.
Yeah.
And so what you got to do is, when you got to remember, if we do tag and trade Jones, what you got to remember is it's just sometimes you got to cycle. Sometimes you got to cycle these guys in and out. You can't stay with all the same players. Because what will end up happening is you have you overpaying everybody.
And the thing is, behind the scenes that we're not seeing is like Brett Veach and Andy Reid are very close, and they're going to make this decision together. And so Brett Veach is going to say, hey, if I tag and trade this guy, do you have somebody in our organization that can do the job.
So they'll go ahead and look.
Maybe not be as good as Chris Jones,
yeah.
but can he hold it down?